All right, I am going to say good morning just in case the streaming has started. I'm trying something new this morning, and so I know the sound is working well. And I had to come live on my personal page because I don't know, some Zoom settings. And today I really wanted to do the Zoom thing because I want to share my screen with you. So hopefully you can hear me well, and I will maybe have a quick look on my phone just to make sure that I'm not speaking alone. So I'm seeing something, but not yet myself. So bear with me, ladies. This is exciting. Hey, ladies. Okay, I just heard myself. Good. We are on and we are starting today, day 4. So I am so excited because today I get to show you things that my team and I have been preparing for 4 months. And so I promised you that I would show you a glimpse of the brand new frequency, and today I finally get to do that. So welcome to this Facebook Live. If you don't know me, my name is Andréane Duquette. I am the CEO, founder of l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage. And this week is a very special week for us because it is the big reveal of the brand new 6-month program called FUNdation REFINement. So if this is the first Facebook Live that you're catching, then I invite you to watch the ones from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we also have a contest. So if you want to participate, you could win the brand new 6-month program. So if you're watching live, please say hello. If you're watching and catching this Facebook Live in replay, you can write #replay just under. So, in order to participate, pour participer au concours, what you have to do simply at the end of the Facebook Live, after watching and after resonating with what I explained, you can share it on your Facebook wall and you can write what resonated the most for you. Qu'est-ce qui t'a touché? Qu'est-ce qui t'a parlé dans le Facebook Live? So you can share it on your wall. And then I want you to copy paste that sentence in order to put it under here, under this Facebook Live as well. And so that way I can be reading you and you can say I shared and you can tag me at Andréane Duquette, LAVMB. So that's how you can participate. And then my team and I, we will write your name and put it in the hat. And the big winner will be announced on Friday night during the Q&A and Shop with Me session or Saturday. So Friday will be 5:30 p.m. Saturday will be 1 p.m. So I've done 2 different time slots in order for you to be able to attend one of the two. And then the big winner, if especially if it's someone that I don't know yet, it's really important that she is present at the Q&A because it's important for me to gift this beautiful and stunning 6-month program to someone who's so ready for it. All right. The departures for FUNdation REFINement with the limited offer that I'm offering this week for the big reveal, because it is a celebration week. It is either May 26th or June 2nd only. All right. So, with this beautiful energy and this beautiful morning, I want to also come back to something I mentioned yesterday because I talked to you about the core concepts and I talked to you about the method, how it was created and everything. If you have not watched last night's Facebook Live, go ahead because you will learn a lot about us, about my team and I at l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage. And so one thing that I wanted to bring forward as well, it's not necessarily a core concept, but it's definitely a core value inside l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage. And you will not be surprised to hear that one of our core value is freedom. I am someone who have traveled the world and I value freedom so much in my life, and therefore it is something that is reflected in the energy and the frequency of l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage. Because not only you feel it inside your program when you are doing it, what happens and what we witness with the ladies who participate the 6 month program is that freedom becomes also a core value for them in their lives. Because often I have clients who would they would share to me in confidence. They would say, Andriane, I feel like I have prioritized everybody in my life for my entire life. Either when I was little, it was my siblings. I was the big sister. I had to take care of my siblings. As I grew older, I had to take care of them, take care of my parents, take care of my children, take care of my partner. And somehow they never put themselves first. And so for them to come towards us and to tell us these things, it's very powerful because it is their first step towards their new life of prioritizing themselves. I have a client. So she joined the FUNdation REFINement program at the very beginning. It was for a professional reason. She's like, okay, I work in a big store. I'm the director, the manager, and I need to speak English with the clients, with some employees, and I need to step up in my level of English. And I'm like, absolutely. So let's do this together. So her and her coach, they worked together. And not only, obviously, her English got better because of the method and everything, but what I love the most about her transformation is who she has become along the way. It is mind-blowing, the transformation of this lady, not in her professional life, in her personal life. She joined and she was very focused on work as a manager, as a director. We know what that is. I mean, we work a lot, many, many hours. We're always at work, at the store. In her case, she was always at the store and she was putting aside her private life. So I remember she told me, Andriane, like my kids, I think they were in their 30s and one of them was still at home. They were still coming at home for their mom to cook. And then the partner that she has was also expecting that. And she told me, well, that's not what I want. I'm good at many other things than this. And she wanted to get out of that frame that she had essentially put herself in, right? Because we have to remember, ladies, that we are responsible of our choices. So if you choose to cook every day for your family, and then they get used to that because you do it every day, every month, every year for years, then it's just the norm, right? And so she wanted to step out of that box and be like, no, I have things to do for myself. You can cook for yourself. And so I'm saying that because this is how she said it at the end of the 6 month program. And so that was phenomenal just to see her being so free and so lit up. And so she changed so much throughout the 6 month program and she started putting her boundaries. She started putting her limits and communicating her limits to the people in her life. So that was absolutely beautiful to watch from the outside because not only her English got so much better and she could speak, make sentences, and she was not scared of making mistakes anymore. And she's like, you know what? They understand me. I make a little mistake with the past, whatever, they understand me. I'm having conversation. I connect with my clients. My employees understand me. We exchange, like we laugh together. I can be myself in English. So English wise, she was fulfilled. But the biggest transformation, according to me and her coach, is that she transformed her personal life on a whole new level by putting her boundaries, by pushing away some toxic relationships, such as her sister. Her own sister was always coming to drain the energy out of her because she was always there for her sister her entire life. So that was just what she was doing. And at some point, with the work that we did in Word with her, she realized, wow, all these people, they take from me, they take from me. What do I get from them? A relationship, it's both ways. It's like, I don't want to go too much in a tangent, but when I was on the cruise ship, one of our clients, she might be even listening right now, she told me, Andriane, if your grandmother wants a relationship with you, she can call you too. And I was like, thank you for that. I feel already better because I felt guilty for not calling enough. But when does she call? A relationship is both ways. A relationship is I have gifts and I share my gifts, and you have gifts and you share your gifts, and the energy is flowing. That's a relationship. So this client, she did a lot of cleaning in her energy field, in her relationships. So I was so proud of her for just making that decision. This is what was aligned for her at this point. Doesn't mean they're never going to be friends again, right? When it's in the bloodline, often we reconcile. However, the most beautiful part is her children stopped expecting whatever they were expecting from her with the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and all that. And the most beautiful thing is the relationship with her husband. She said, Andriane, my husband, he says that I'm a brand new woman. He does not recognize me anymore. We're falling back in love. I don't know what's going on, but I'm loving it. And our marriage is so great right now. And I never thought I would experience that. I thought we were just going to grow old together and grow old together, in the rocking chair. And she said, it's unbelievable the connection we have now. And I'm like, oh my God. Because she freed herself throughout the 6-month program with all the coaching that we do, the team of coaches inside the community. So that was just such a gift for me, for her coach, for even the whole team, because when we witness testimonial like this and transformations like this, we're like, wow, this is why we do what we do. And this is how also my own vision grows even more. Because when I see the impact it can have, not only in their professional life, which is the big why that they first came in with, but also in their personal life. Imagine falling back in love with your husband at 55 years old. So this is definitely a core value for us, the freedom. And it's something that is felt in the frequency. And it is something that's important inside the English training as well, because we know how busy everybody is. So today I wanted to share a few things. That's why I'm using Zoom exceptionally, because I need to share a few things with you. And then the first thing that I will be sharing, it will be something that for me is just, let's see, did I do something wrong here? Facebook, I think I'm good. All right, I think I'm still on. So let me share this and this and this. All right. I hope that you're seeing the screen right now. You know what? I'm nervous about this sharing the screen thing. Let's see. Um, okay, perfect. Thank you. I see there are 10 people live this morning. This is great. Thank you for your patience. There's always a first time for everything. And I feel so excited and nervous at the same time for sharing the screen on the Facebook Live. All right. So what you see right now on the screen is what I call the checklist. So I told you throughout the week how I love structuring things, right? And so the reason why I'm showing you this today is for you to see that in the program, there are between 2 to 4 videos per week. And then what's amazing is that you get to check every time that you move forward in your program, you get to check the boxes and see that you're moving forward. So this is how it is structured. The reason why I'm showing you this is because personally, when I do a program, there's nothing more satisfying than to see that I'm moving forward, that I'm evolving, and that just that it's going forward. So I created the checklist in order for you to be able to structure your schedule. Because again, when it comes to learning the English grammar and all that, you have the freedom to do it whenever it suits you in your schedule. For some of you, it's in the morning. Some of you, it's on the lunch break. Some of you, is at night after everybody's gone to bed, right? The important thing is to find a moment where you know you won't be disturbed and it will be your sacred moment. Because this is essentially what I invite you to do when you participate, is that when you come in front of your computer and you start a video, the one video you chose for today, let's say, I don't want you to think, oh my God, I have to do my English class because blah, blah, blah. No, I want you to feel excited like a little girl. I'm going with my computer in my room, close the door. Don't bother me. Don't disturb me. I'm busy. You put your headphones on, light up the candle, use some essential oil, maybe your crystals, and then you connect to the present moment. It's really important for me to create that vibe inside our frequency, because when you come from working all day, doing 12,000 activities and taking care of everything and all the responsibilities, this moment when you come and connect with me, with us, it's a special moment for you. I like to say à toi de toi. And so that's the freedom that you have inside the program. So despite the fact that, yes, it's intensive. Yes, my intention was to create like an immersive experience. Absolutely. But you get to do it when you want in your schedule. And so the idea is to do a little bit of English every day so it stays light and fun. That concept, that principle won't change. But the fact that you will be doing and practicing English every day, it brings your brain to think in English a little bit every day. So it helps you to practice either written English, oral English, and then you practice listening as well. And so there are different things in the schedule, and every Sunday night or Monday morning, the best thing to do is to look at, okay, I look at my checklist. This week, what do I have to do? How long are the videos? Because I don't know if you saw, but there are the amount of minutes between parentheses. And so you can be like, all right, according to my schedule, I can do, let's say, one video on Monday, one Wednesday, one Friday. In between, I do the oral homework and then the written homework. And you just move forward like this, and then you check the boxes. And then at some point, you notice, wow. And every 2 months, we do these overviews together in order to anchor ourselves in the moment. Take us like a little moment just to look back at everything we have achieved, because that's part of the work, the inner work. And it's important to celebrate each step. It's like when I climbed Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji is the highest mountain in Japan. It used to be a volcano. It's so beautiful. I climbed it twice. Yeah. And so what you do when you climb Mount Fuji is that you start at 10 p.m. and you climb all night to see the sunrise. And they say that when you are on the top of Mount Fuji, you are the first people seeing the sunrise on that day. But Mount Fuji is a big mountain. And so when you start the climb, you can't think of the summit, because that's like 7 hours later. You have to think about one station at a time. So when you get to the first station, have a little snack, have some water, high five. At this point, altitude is not too bad. You go. You don't stop too long. Second station, third station. Continue. There are 8 stations before the top. And so I was not thinking about the top while I was climbing. I was just thinking about the next station. Yes, I knew I wanted to get to the top, but it was not 100% sure that I would get to the top because some people, they lack oxygen when they get 7, 8 station, and sometimes they have to go back down. And they don't get to see the sunrise from the top, they get to see the sunrise from where they are. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to the top. But I didn't know. However, I was focusing on one station at a time. And every station, I felt so proud. Every station, I was so grateful. The sky was amazing, especially the first time. It was magical, the stars. So it's important to stay in gratitude, stay connected in the moment, and be able to celebrate each success, even though they're not as big as we would want, because each success is a success. So I feel like the way we structured the program, it really helps you to climb that mountain. It's really how it is. And I will show you something because it's visually absolutely amazing. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. And it will give you an idea of how we're climbing this mountain together throughout the 6-month program. So essentially, right now, I'm so excited because this is the most beautiful page that we've ever created. And this is definitely the brand new frequency, and I want you to be able to experience it with me. I wrote here, freedom, evolution, fun, authenticity, power, success, fulfillment, healing, growth, truth, presence. These words beautifully express the experience of FUNdation and refinement with l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage. So if I go down, you can have access to this a little bit later. If I go down here, I want to show you this beautiful video. Take the time to admire and read the words. And then here I explained something that I already shared on Monday, so you can also take the time to read when you ask for the link a little bit later. And so we have the modules, all right? So the program is 6 modules, and so it is 1 module per month since the program is 6 months long, right? 24 weeks. And so the module 1, and then the first part of the program, the let's say the base of the mountain, okay? If you want to imagine a volcano, because it goes up like this, that's perfect. So the base of the mountain will be module 1, 2, and 3, where we strengthen so solid the foundation of your English, right? And then you will be able to just reconnect with all the different grammar rules that you know, but you're not 100% sure about. You know, when you say a sentence and you doubt yourself and then you're like, oh, is that this or is it this? Or when you say a verb in the past, but then you switch to present because you're not sure, like there won't be any more confusion in module 2. We're going to work on pronunciation. We're going to build your confidence because we know that when we build the pronunciation and the confidence, then it changes the way we speak. It changes the way we communicate, and we start already transforming with our posture at that point. And then module 3, that's when you start really feeling grounded when you express yourself in English, because at that point, the foundation is a done thing, is a done deal, all right? So it's really going to help you to take the next step for the next level, which is module 4. So that's where we start stepping up into a lot more intermediate stuff, which is going to help you to not only hear all the intermediate sentences, the present perfect, past perfect. You know, what does that mean? It means like I have been, or I have seen, or I have done. I could say the same thing with the past. The past perfect, I had seen, I had done, I had been. So we're going to go through all these things, not just learning them, but how do I use them in contexts that really resonate in your personal life, in your reality, in your professional in professional work settings as well. And then, of course, we keep going up the mountain for this beautiful module 5, where we are going to take you out a little bit of your comfort zone, because we know that's outside the comfort zone that we grow the most. And then we are going to build something together that you're going to use for the rest of your life. And then you've got the module 6, which is the most magical module, in my opinion, because at that point, you have built everything that you need in order to be fluent in English. And at this point, we just implement everything and we use that to evolve. So there are special self-development workshops that are live here in this module 6, because it's important for me that you don't just practice while speaking about grammar and applying grammar in your speech, but also that you practice while working on yourself in live sessions. And this is one of the things that is brand new in the new frequency of the 6-month program. And speaking of what's new, everything is new. Everything is new. Not only the frequency is new, but the exercises are new. We've got brand new oral activities. We've got a brand new book, which I can show you also. Oh my gosh. Let me show you the book here. So we have the front page right here, which is amazing. And I could not be more proud of the book. Because we put so much love and so much intention inside the book. And I love how I was able to put my fun and creative method that's super unique, but with the frequency that Aranza and I foresaw for this. So the book is here. I told you yesterday, it got here while I was having a meeting with my team. And so it's just so pretty. I don't know if you can see well. We have obviously all the different modules. We have all the images. It's super easy to navigate. And so we have in here all the grammar and all the content that you're learning. So it is something that we are so proud of, and I could not wait to show you. And you know how I've been feeling in the last 4 months preparing this and not really telling anyone. You know, when you feel like you're preparing a surprise party for someone who's turning 40, 50, whatever. I feel like I was preparing a surprise party. And so right now, I can finally invite you to the party. Now I'm allowed to tell you, hey, by the way, there's a party surprise. So that's the feeling that I have. So the book is brand new and it's refreshed in every ways. And I could not be more proud. It's amazing. After that, we have brand new videos. So this background that you see right now, you'll see it sometimes in some of the videos. And so for me, those videos are so meaningful because of what happened in this house while I was in this house this winter. It's so, so, so meaningful. I had breakthroughs in here. I experienced challenges in here. I experienced success in here. There is everything to hold power that happened in here. And so the fact that FUNdation and Refinement was recorded here is very, very meaningful, very magical, very powerful for me. And I know I'm saying that, and the team, they know everything that I'm saying between the lines here. So, so essentially, the frequency and the new program, everything is new. That's the best way I can explain it. It's absolutely next level, and I can't wait to welcome you in there and to celebrate your departure in there because it's going to be a fabulous adventure. Now, I want to move on with different different stories that are very important to share because you know how sometimes I have some clients, they come to me. One of them I have in mind. She came to me and she was definitely believing herself when she said, Andriane, at work, I'm the only one who doesn't speak English fluently. And I was like, okay, that's possible. I don't know. I'm not in your work environment. But her belief was way past that. She thought she was the last woman on earth who didn't speak English. Like, because of the way her environment is when she, in her personal life, professional life, the people she sees in her life, she felt that she was the last one in her group of friends and acquaintances and colleagues that didn't speak English. And so I told her, well, can I reassure you right now that I wouldn't have all the clients I have right now if you were the only one left. So I'm going to open your mind a little bit and reassure you, you are not the only one. So this girl, this woman, she is a director of a golf club. And she has a big vision for women in golf. Her projects are so beautiful because, as you probably guessed by now, I mean, the community of l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage, we only teach women because we want to keep that frequency, that safe space, and also we want to raise together. We want to rise together. So the fact that she has these projects for women in golf, I find that fabulous. And when she started FUNdation REFINement with me, that's how she felt. She was like, I feel like I'm the only one and I feel ashamed. Elle avait honte de ça. But the thing, ladies, is that we should never feel ashamed of our own path, of our own life. Everybody is unique. Everybody has a unique path. And that's why sometimes hardships happen to you and not to us. And hardships happen to us and not to you because we're all meant to grow differently and to transcend different things throughout our lives. So I started teaching her in FUNdation and REFINement. And we worked a lot on changing her pair of glasses, which is one of my favorite things. And then, of course, I started to work on her confidence and work on her posture. And I was impressed. She was in her 50s. She still is. And she was learning really fast. I was correcting her on something. She was like, oh, right. Like she was so quick. I was like, I feel like that limited belief that she had really slowed her down from realizing that these things are all there, in the back of the brain, all the grammar and all the tricks, not the tricks, but the grammar and the rules. That's what I want to say. They were there, but just really, really far away. So I brought forward all my tricks and all the links between French and English, and she just clicked, clicked, clicked. Every one-on-one session we had, she was clicking, and I was like, wow, yes. So eventually, she finished the FUNdation and REFINement program. And, what I forgot to say at the beginning when she joined, she was saying how her big boss wanted her to attend different events in Vancouver. They wanted her to represent the golf club over there in Vancouver on the west coast of Canada because relationships and networking and just, yeah, basically growing and being known in the province of Quebec for the beautiful field that they have because she lives in the countryside. So I'm guessing the golf field must be so beautiful and in the nature and all that. So at first, she always said no to those moments going to Vancouver. She was always like, oh, no, 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 I'm not going. I'm not going to make a fool of myself over there. Hell no. And she was a strong women, but not when she was speaking English at first. So I really worked on bringing her, the whole her, her whole entity, identity, but in English. And then at the end of the foundation and refinement program, she she sent me a message on Voxer and she said, Andréane, I'm freaking out. I don't know why I did that, but I just said yes for Vancouver. And I was like, yes, because it was the goal, right? I mean, we had a lot of different goals. We had a lot of things, a lot of layers to work on together. But when she went to Vancouver, she came back, told me everything about the experience, and people were so drawn towards her because she loves like dressing well in the sporty style of golf. And she was very attractive for everyone. Women, men, they were just drawn towards her. They were gravitating around her. And she told me, I don't know what was going on, but everybody wanted to talk to me. And I was like, of course. Of course, because of all the energetic work that we did together and all that we built together, the confidence, the posture, and how you can be yourself. And it's okay, one, two mistakes here and there. We don't care. Connection over perfection. So she was so excited, and since then, she always says yes to the professional, the business trips that she has to go somewhere outside the province of Quebec. And I could not be more proud of her for this transformation, but also from going like I feel so lonely. I feel like I'm the last person on earth who doesn't speak English to this version of her. And not only she was already someone who attracts easily in French, but the confidence of speaking a second language, it's like she was even more magnetic. She was attracting so much. And this is something we can't see at first when we first start or first have the idea of prioritizing the English project in our life this year. But it's important to go one station at a time, one milestone at a time. And at some point, you get to the top. And we go at our own rhythm. And then what I love about the freedom that we have inside the Foundation Refinement program is that there's mutual respect. And then if there are some weeks that you're like, well, I'm a lot more busy this week, well, you can manage your schedule. And I know that ambitious women like us, we like to do that. We like to have control, don't we? A little bit of control. So you definitely have control on that. And for me, again, I created it this way because that's how I like to be a student with freedom. I want to have the opportunities to go live 100%. I love going live with the coaches and the mentors, but I also like to do the rest at my own rhythm when I want. And so I'm thinking also about another client. She started foundation and refinement and she was divorcing. So we can all imagine whether it happened to you. I mean, most of us experienced separations in our lives. And if it's not you, well, you probably know someone who separated or got divorced. And we know that it's hard and that it's heartbreaking and your entire world gets shaken, gets shook. So she comes to me and she tells me what's going on. And I was like, okay, are you sure this is a good moment? Do you think like your whole mind and your whole energy can be in this? She's like, you have no idea how ready I am to change my life. Like this was a first step, not necessarily what she wanted, but after it happened, she realized I have the freedom to prioritize me now and to make my dreams come true. And I was like, okay. So her dream was to move to the west coast of Canada and to live in the Rockies mountain and to work on farms with horses. Now, all the animal lovers in here, you probably understand the special connection that we have with animals. So it was really inspiring because she was ready to turn her life around and she knew she needed English in order to do that. So once again, we started working together. Not only her English improved and got to a fluent level, because of course that's what we do. However, the transformation in who she was as a newly single woman at the beginning of the program and the empowered woman that finished that program, she was not the same. She was transformed. It was incredible. And just like I said the other day, what's 6 months in your life to change the rest of your life? And for her, it was amazing because shortly after she finished, she sold her house. She sold everything that was in it. She just met up with the last people that were her friends and that were important to her and left with the car full of whatever she needed, the essentials, basic, and left and drove to the West Coast. And she's been there ever since, working with the horses. Her dream. Isn't that amazing? Sometimes freedom has different shapes, but also we have to allow it for ourselves. Nobody's going to be like, hey, here's freedom, take it. No, you have to create it for yourself. By knowing what you want, by putting your boundaries, by knowing your limits and communicating your limits. Freedom is also being able to express your emotions without feeling like you're crazy, because somehow men can get angry and it's normal, but when women get angry, we're crazy. But when we grow the love for ourselves and when we work on becoming the best version of ourselves and when we become emotionally intelligent and when we allow our emotions to surface, we can process them. Sometimes we want to understand why they're there. Sometimes we don't need to. They just need to come out. And then the more powerful you become, the more emotionally intelligent you become. And this is something you can be working on for your entire life. Because it always depends on who's in front of you. But these are concepts that we approach and we talk about because we are women. We like to talk about the real things. I don't care about the weather outside. I don't even want to talk about the news, frankly, because that brings my mood down. But let's talk about emotional intelligence, please. Yes, let's talk about us. Let's grow together, us together. So you can see how when you give yourself the permission to learn, to evolve, to grow, it creates amazing things. When you give yourself the permission to throw that rock in the water for the ripple effect to happen. Nothing's going to happen if you never make that decision. When I say throw the rock in the water, ça veut dire de prendre la décision. I have something I wrote here. It says, stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. And when I told you about I go first and the universe responds, it's one of those. It's a decision. We don't wait for the signs of life to say, oh, it's time now. No, you make the decision and it's time now. And then the things that will come on your path after making that decision is amazing. That reminds me of two of our clients. They met inside one of the intensive training. They were paired up together. We call them success partners. We have those also in the 6-month program, success partners. And they connected so well and they practiced together. I believe it's twice a week. They meet up on Zoom. They practice their English, they help each other, they review certain grammar rules together. They exchange, of course, because they want to practice their conversation. And today, we can officially say that they are starting FUNdation and Refinement next week. They are coming in the program together. They said, we want the same schedule, we want the same coach, we want the same everything, and we want to stay success partners. So not only they're going all in with the 6-month program after the previous programs that they've done with us, but they have decided to travel together. They have decided to go to Victoria, which is next to Vancouver, the island of Victoria in British Columbia, for 3 weeks in the fall season, in the fall semester, to immerse themselves, to continue the FUNdation and Refinement program while being immersed over there in Victoria and doing it together. Isn't that amazing? Now, these two ladies, when they first entered the community of l'anglais, votre, meilleur, bagage, they could have never guessed that they would make a good friend, that they would find a traveling partner, that they would find someone who understands them, respects them, and encourage them, and vice versa, so that they can grow side by side together and elevate themselves. You don't think about that when you first join because you're like, okay, here's my project and here's my big why. But then amazing thing happens inside the community. And these two clients, allowing themselves to be so free to go on this 3-week trip in Victoria. I know that if I would have asked them that 6 months ago, they would have not said, oh, yeah, one day I'll do that. No, it just comes with the ripples. You don't see the 4th, 5th, 6th ripple when you throw the rock. You throw the rock, you experience the first ripple. From there, another amazing thing happened, and another, and another, and then eventually, maybe you make such a good friend that you feel like you want to travel with them. It's just magical, the connections that we make, not just us, the coaches, with you, but also you women together. And for us, it's the best because the strength of the community and all these great intelligent minds put together inside the same container, it's really important for us. I have another client. She works as a nurse in the north, okay? Le nord du Québec. And before she got the job, essentially, she got the interview and she had all the skills to get the job, but they asked her to improve her English. She came towards us. She explained the situation and she explained how whenever she would go there, because she would still, before that she was going, but now she wanted to just move there and be there 100% of the time. And then over there, they fly. The nurses, the doctors, I don't know, but they fly. Sometimes they have to transport a patient from A to B by plane or by helicopter. And then she told me, Andréane, when I see patients that are speaking English, I don't feel as credible because my questions are not as on point. And not only I have to ask them about physical pain, but also emotional pain, psychological pain. And she said, I'm so good in French to get the person. I ask the key questions and I can feel the person. I mean, she's probably also very intuitive. And so she said, how can I be as connected and asking the key questions to my patient in English? Like I feel like I lack credibility. I know I can be good at this job. This is my dream job. I've always wanted to do this job. And so I was like, this is amazing. By the way, thank you for being you. Thank you for doing what you do. We need people like you, right? And I understood what she meant because that definitely happened to me before as well, where when I was learning English with Disney on Ice in 2018, 2006, sorry, 2018, it's when I traveled the world. In 2006, I joined Disney on Ice when I was 18 years old. That's where the 18 come from. Um, I, how can I say? I was a good leader in my group of friends in Quebec City. And I was like, I loved making jokes. I loved connecting with people. And then when I got to Disney on Ice, when I was 18 years old, I could not do that because I did not speak English. And I felt like when I was making some jokes at the beginning, I was trying to translate from French to English. Those were not happening. So I had to stop making jokes for a while in order to get the English humor. And so definitely no credibility there, right? And then when I was trying to express myself sometimes, like even though I could not speak perfectly, que j'étais à un point où ce que je me débrouillais, right? I was getting by. I could see things in the choreography and like let's say we had to really lift our knees or we had to go like whatever, the choreographies, right? I could see things that I knew would have been enhancing the look of all of us if we would do it a certain way or sometimes we needed to have like a little freestyle moment and so I had ideas. My ideas were great, but because I was expressing myself with not great English, then nobody considered my ideas. So, what this client expressed to me about not feeling as credible in her work because she wanted to attend the patient with all the love and all the care that she normally has when she speaks French, I got it. I got it because I felt like that before, not as credible as in French. So, this client, she came in the program and she had a crazy schedule. So she managed, with all the freedom that we have in the program, she managed the schedule the way she wanted and could with the schedule in the north. And her transformation was amazing because she told us how there was this one patient, he was, je ne sais même pas comment on dit ça en anglais, il était en détresse. It was not a great situation, you know, and she was able to talk to this person in English, to call him down, to calm him down, to connect with this person with their souls. You know how we see the soul of someone in their eyes? Like she said, I looked at him in the eyes and I spoke to him and I just saw him going, you know, when the shoulders go down and you just feel the energy of the person soothing. She told me that story and I had tears in my eyes because I knew we had cracked the code for her. I knew we had done what we needed to do with her. That's what she needed. Because now she can have that deep connection with her patients and she can use her gift because we're all gifted, right? It's everybody different, but we're all gifted. She could use her gift to help this person to ask the right questions and to make them feel safe, to make them feel like everything's gonna be okay. Isn't that amazing? And so for her, who had such a busy schedule and 3 weeks here and 1 week here and it was all over the place and sometimes the Wi-Fi in the north of Quebec apparently was not great, but she found solutions. no excuses, because for her, what was the most important thing was to serve her patients. So I wanted to, let's see if I have other things to show you. Yes, I have one last thing to show you. I wanted to share all of this today with you because freedom is definitely a core values for l'anglais votre meilleur bagage. Our values are felt and they're seen inside our intensive English training. And I think that what's important for me to share today is how not only, let's say you come in with a professional goal, not only your professional life gets impacted by your transformation, but the freedom and how you free yourself subconsciously, like you don't necessarily know it while you're doing it, but then eventually you witness everything that happened in the last 6 months, because this is the past here. You will learn with me that this is the past. So you look in the past and then you realize, oh my effing, hein, l'expression. You will be mind blown by your transformation. And that's what I want for you. But that's not what we focus on from the beginning. We go one step at a time, one station at a time. Now, speaking of freedom and frequency, I will share my screen to show you a video that we use inside the program. And I love it so much. I hope you hear the sound well. And maybe don't look. I'll play it twice. Don't look. Close your eyes right now. And then you can open your eyes now. And I will play it again so you can now see with your eyes. So I am stoked to show you this today, the book, the video, the checklist. And it's just such a special moment. It's such a celebration feeling, a celebration vibe for me. And I'm excited to show you all of this because it means so much. Because I know what we can do together. And I have a big vision for us ladies. And all the stories I told you, when I hear them, it helps my vision to grow. And the more I grow, the more you grow. And the vision I have for us is a world where les Québécoises, les Françaises, we are everywhere, speaking English at ease, negotiating, going on the stage for a conference. You can connect with different mentors, different entrepreneurs at different levels. You know, when we are at the beginning of our learning experience, learning process, we feel so inferior to all the Americans or the other Canadians who speak English only. I don't know why we feel inferior, because they speak one language, we speak a language and a half. So, but imagine when you're going to speak two languages and they're still going to be speaking only English. Imagine the posture, the confidence. Now they are going to be impressed by you. They are going to want to be friends with you. I don't understand why we feel this way, but we do. And in my vision, we live in a world where we don't feel this way anymore. In my vision, mothers show the way, show the language to their children. both languages. Sometimes I hear people, oh, I don't want to lose my French. You will never lose your French. You're not 5 years old. You're 35, 45, 55, 65. You're never going to lose your French. We love our French. We love where we come from. We love our culture. We love us. We're never going to lose our French. But you're going to be so much more powerful speaking English as well. Transmitting this language, this second language to your children, helping them to express themselves freely in French and English. What's great is that they won't have an accent, but it's okay for us because it is part of our identity and we can be so proud of that. In Europe, I told you yesterday, they speak 3, 4, 5 languages. Do you think they're scared of losing their mother tongue? No, I never heard a European saying that before. In those who speak 3, 4, 5 languages. So a woman who is intelligent, bilingual, beautiful, and funny is a very powerful woman. And there's nothing that can stop her. And this is most likely you, or at least on the way to be. So in my vision, we live in this world where we are as free as we want for our dreams, for our desires, for all the projects that we have. In my vision, women go to their dream destinations on a trip. They don't hide anymore behind their partners because, well, he or she speaks better. No. In my vision, French Canadians and French people, they travel and they connect with everybody with confidence, with so much pride of their process and their growth and their evolution. And the connections we make on the way and the respect that we get from people because we learned it at an adult age. You don't know that yet, but it will come. So that's my vision for us and for everything we transmit and share and give and offer in FUNdation and REFINEment. So ladies, tomorrow I will be back on a Facebook Live at 12:30 p.m. à 12:30. And then tomorrow I will be explaining to you why I've been doing my Facebook Lives in English this week, because if you know me already, often I do them quite bilingual. I will explain that tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Then tomorrow we have the Q&A and Shop With Me session at 5:30 p.m. That's when I pick the name and tell the big winner of the contest. If you want to participate to the contest, share this Facebook Live. The steps, I mentioned them all at the beginning of this Facebook Live. And we will have another Q&A and Shop With Me session also on Saturday, 1 p.m. Now, all of you who are already clients of l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage, watch the Facebook Live I made yesterday inside your community because there's something about the contest for you to know in there that's really important in your participation. So don't miss that. You won't want to miss that. And so that's the plan for tomorrow. And now, with everything I've shared today, with everything I've shared Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, if there is something that I did not mention yet inside my Facebook Live that you have questions about, I invite you to send me a DM. DM, ça veut dire direct message. Alors, envoie-moi un message sur Messenger. Andréane Duquette LAVMB. Okay, so I will only be in that messenger. I won't be in the messenger of l'anglais, votre meilleur bagage. So come and talk to me inside my own DM, Andréane Duquette LAVMB. If there is any questions that I did not answer with everything I have been sharing in the last 4 days. And otherwise, I will. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I have a meeting right after this. So I will be in my DMs today, mid-afternoon, like mid-afternoon, end of afternoon. All right. And also, I will have my team helping me to not miss anything, but that I will be in there, Andrea Nusquet et la VMB. All right. So I will see you tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. And till then, I wish you a wonderful day. If you caught this Facebook Live in replay, you can write hashtag replay. You can say hello. I want to see who was there today. We've been having amazing presence and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so exciting to celebrate with you all because as I mentioned, this means the world to me. So I love you and I will see you soon tomorrow, 12:30. Bye, ladies.